Get them home.
Hey, you're on.
We're on. Welcome, everybody, to our regular city council meeting, Tuesday, October 21st. What do you think, Jill? Is it going to stay? Yes, it will. We welcome everybody online and in person tonight. Thank you for spending some time with us. We'll start tonight with a roll call. Amy.
Mayor Allen.
Here.
Councilmember Christiansen. Here. Councilmember Zishan.
Here.
Councilmember West.
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
And Councilmember Parkinson is excused.
Okay. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for all being here tonight. We have a fairly short meeting, so we'll get right on it. If you'll all rise and repeat the pledge with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, welcome all of you tonight. Appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your night to join us. Go to consent items, approval of tonight's agenda, and the October 7th council meeting minutes. Any corrections to either of those items?
Not from us.
Not from us. Council? Great. Anyone opposed to approving those? Seeing none, we'll approve those by general consent. Thank you. Item number 5 is citizen comments. Anybody like to make some citizen comments? Anybody? You be nice. You'll have your time. Okay, we have none tonight. We will go to new business. 6.1 presentation. Fire Department quarterly report. Chief, thank you for coming.
Mayor, City Council, thanks for having me. Just an overview of what happened this last quarter. So we did have our open house a couple weeks ago. We had a very good turnout for not doing one for, how long has it been, Tom? A while, let's just say that. It seemed it was well taken by everybody that was there. We had a lot of vendors there. We had Public Works helping out. We had Dominion Energy now is what they're called. Red Cross, Animal Control was there? Was it you or was it county? Or Shelter was there. Who else am I missing, Tom? Red Cross. The hospital, Ogden Regional came out and did some stuff. We had a awesome little fire prop that South Ogden Fire Department let us borrow that actually had fire, and it was a house made up that had fire out in a window, and kids got to spray water and put the fire out, and kids loved it. Sure, he's not here. Some adults loved it too.
She got kicked out of that, didn't she?
So it was a good turnout. We're looking forward to next year and moving forward with that and doing some other things with that. To put on your calendar, next week, the 27th, Ogden Regional is doing a trunk or treat. It's 5 to 7 p.m. The fire department will be there to support them. It'll be in the back parking lot, kind of that back corner area.
Time again?
5 to 7 p.m.
5 to 7. Okay. In the back, okay.
What was the date?
The 27th.
Thank you.
Yes. Kind of looking at the calls for this third quarter, our total call volume was 320 calls that we ran. That's both medical and fire. To break that down, we had 239 medical calls and 81 fire-related calls, ranging from structure fires, grass fires, CO alarms, stuff like that, false fire calls. Our total call volume for the year up until today is 1,075 calls. Trajectory looking forward, if we stay on what we're looking for, we should hit roughly 1,400 calls for the year. That's 200 calls more than what we ran total for last year. And then the nursing home calls percentage, we're sticking at that 28.8%, so roughly 30% call volume to the nursing homes. Nothing's changing there. Staffing levels we're doing good on. We have 35 firefighters. We did hire a couple new ones recently. Some people left to look at some other endeavors, full-time agencies in other places. So we hired some more, but we're still sitting at 35 firefighters. We're doing good there. Any questions for me tonight?
Any questions? No. Structure fires and recently? Nothing?
We had a couple this last quarter, small ones.
Okay.
They were mostly related to lithium-ion batteries, charging scooters, bicycles, whatever, inappropriately or using the wrong type of charger that are not designed for that piece of equipment. So it's putting too much amperage or something like that to it. It's not shutting off when the battery's charged, and it overcharges it, and it goes into thermal runaway,
Okay.
causing the fire. So there was the one over there by the golf course on
Right.
400 South.
Been a little while.
There was another one, I don't remember where the second, there was one more too.
Right.
And then we had a little, just recently on a rental property, furnace that malfunctioned,
Oh, that's the one I read.
Yeah. that caused an issue with the furnace just
Okay.
that's the most recent one.
Okay, okay. Question for you. I've always wondered when I plug in my weed eater and my edger and those little batteries, you
Uh-huh.
know, any problem with those? Not quite as much? Or,
There still can be issues with them.
unplug 'em at nights and
Make sure,
unplug 'em.
yeah, just make sure you're using the charger that comes
oh, right,
for them
okay.
from the manufacturer. And usually those chargers are designed to shut off once it's fully charged, instead of
Okay.
keep putting juice to the battery, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
So those aren't quite as serious as the larger. Okay,
They are,
They're
they can
plugged in,
cause,
so-
if you get bored tonight, just look up lithium ion thermal runaway. Even for a cell phone.
oh, okay. Jeez.
And imagine, so when you think of, so if you want some gee whiz file, even like your little batteries for like your Milwaukee or
Yeah,
Makita power
yeah.
tools, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Inside that battery pack are a whole bunch of like, let's just say AA or CR, 126 batteries. They're all just in parallel with each other. So when they go into thermal, they blow up and cause a gas and a lot of smoke, but that's, yeah, so they're even, yeah.
Okay, okay.
I would charge your batteries like that in your garage, not inside your house.
Okay, okay, just curious.
Nope, you're good.
Oh, that's happy. Happy times. I'm gonna let you sit down
Okay,
and invite up
Thank you.
our animal control. She'll have much better news than you. Item 6.2, we have a presentation from our Animal Control Quarterly Report.
Now that we're all terrified of charging anything.
That's right, don't be,
Yeah,
let your phone just die, who cares? Welcome.
I really don't have much of anything. It's been unusually quiet, which is kind of odd. Normally, this is kind of when we start picking up and it starts cooling down and people start getting out more, but
Yeah,
we've been pretty quiet, which is kind of odd, kind of afraid.
really, really, good.
Other than, apparently we have a cat issue that we need to problem solve.
Yeah, we've got a situation where a guy keeps feeding cats. They keep hanging out. They're driving the neighbors nuts.
Oh,
And we're pretty, Linda, why don't you share with them what kind of our limitations are there, some of the challenges we're running into?
So, in Washington Terrace, there's no leash law or anything on cats. And the reason why we don't have a leash law is because as soon as you implement a leash law on something, you have to impound everything that is considered a stray. So that would mean every single cat in the terrace that was out roaming would have to be impounded and taken down to Weber County, just like all the dogs would be. And that would cost you guys a ton of money. And that's kind of why we haven't implemented something like that. In South Ogden, we don't do it as well, because then you start getting into, you have to do licensing and stuff like that on them, which can generate revenue, but also, how do you know if it's licensed, if it's not wearing tags? I mean, cats, they get stuck on fences and choke themselves and stuff like that, so collars aren't exactly safe. So it's a huge endeavor to change it to the fact that they would have to be contained.
yeah.
Ogden City has a code where they're supposed to be wearing identification, so they need to be like microchipped or wearing a collar and tags. Their officers will pick up cats if they're contained in a carrier and impound them at the shelter. But that is a huge call volume. It doesn't seem like it would be that much, but it actually turns into be a huge endeavor when you start impounding cats, because they're kind of everywhere. So that's how you run into the problem of when you have people that they may have a cat that goes in and out and they put out food for their cat, and then there's other cats that just come and communally eat that cat's food. How do you stop that person? And this individual I have spoken to in the past, and he does not claim any of the cats. So he's putting out food for his cat, but none of these other cats. And it's not in the house, it's in the backyard. So I have no power to determine if they're his cats or not. I've already talked to the city attorney on similar things with dogs and stuff like that. And unless I can prove that they're his, I don't have any power. Like, I can't go over and tell him, you have to stop putting out this food. Like, I don't have the ability to. There are some jurisdictions that have kind of used like a gray area where it's care and maintenance, but I don't think that I would get anywhere on that one. I think that would just get tossed out and round we go. So it falls to the citizens around this individual to trap them and take them to Weaver County, which is another gray area for you guys, because I don't know in your contract for county if county rents you guys the traps or if your citizens have to purchase the traps. I know we don't rent out our traps to your citizens, so that's something Tom's gonna work on with me.
Okay.
So we can figure out that part. Right now, with county transitioning to a new director and everything like that, and our computer software and everything like that is changing, that's something that we've been kind of working through. I know county has had quite a few disease outbreaks with cats and have been pretty full on cats. So I don't know how much of an effect that is having on your citizens not being able to take cats down there. It's that weird gray area where I don't really have a lot of power to push into that. That is something we need to find out, who's giving your citizens traps, and if county has a limit on if they're accepting them or not. That is definitely something that we need to look into, so that if these people do decide to trap these cats, they don't get turned away when they take them down to county. Because if you already don't want to do it and you get down there and you get turned away because they're full, it's just going to make it that much harder. So
Right. Okay.
some brainstorming is needed on that.
So
one.
is it,
Thank you.
is it like one call, that's all, to find out that information from the county?
Yeah, I'll talk to Siri about it. That's her name, the new county director,
Really?
Siri Main.
Siri?
Siri Main. And, she actually came and helped us out at the
Yeah, she was there.
the open house.
By the way, they had really good things to say about South Ogden's program, the county. Because they knew, what we go with,
I try to be nice. I've been going down there and trying to work on the software stuff
Yeah,
and
good,
stuff like that.
good.
We've
Yeah,
been trying to make sure that we don't overburden them when they're getting full and stuff. And
Yep.
so far, I think we've only had like 1 or 2 dogs get impounded in the last long while, which has been
good.
pretty amazing. Trying to make sure that we get them home before they get impounded, so you guys don't get charged.
Yeah,
as well.
great. No, they had nothing but good things to say about your operation, so.
We try.
The challenge we've got with these cats is the neighbor keeps feeding them. The other neighbor who is complaining has talked with the other neighbor. He just cannot give it up. The complaining neighbor, the other day went out, he had 4 cats on his back porch and all of the paraphernalia that cats leave behind when they're done hanging out at your house. And he's just like, my whole house is turning into a litter box. And he said, you open the window in the basement, it just wafts in because they're just using all of his gardens and everything for ridiculousness.
See, and so that is one way to catch him having an overabundance of animals, because if the guy that's complaining actually traps the cats and takes them to county, if this individual goes and reclaims them, they'll be microchipped to him.
Mm-hmm.
And once he reaches his limit, I can say, hey, you reclaimed these as your property, you have too many, you have to downsize. Because as soon as he gets to that limit, then I can be like, you can't have any of these back, and I can actually stop him from reclaiming any of them.
Yeah.
And so that they don't end up going back to that area. I do know county in the past, I don't know if they're still doing it, they were TNRing cats back to the same address. And that was a fight that I had a couple of times where I told them, you cannot bring the cats back. Like, if they're being trapped and removed from this area because they're a nuisance, like, I'm fine with you getting them fixed, but you need to send them somewhere else. Like, don't be dropping them back in my city. Because we had quite a few cat hoarders when that was going on. And I heard from the neighbors that they were just fixing them and dumping them right back as soon as they were done trapping them. So I expressed my concerns about that, so I don't know if that's still a thing. I haven't heard any more complaints about it, but that's another one. We need to make sure that they are not coming back
Yeah.
once they're being removed,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, I'll follow up on those things. We'll chat. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, any more questions?
Very good. Okay. Questions, comments?
None for me?
Y'all
Thank you.
have a good
Keep
night.
it
Thanks
quiet.
for coming over.
Yeah,
Keep it quiet.
nice and quiet.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. 6.3, motion/ordinance 25-04. Approval of ordinance 25-04, adopting Chapter 2.18, administrative proceedings, and amending Chapter 8.16, inspection and cleaning. Tom?
Yes. This is the ordinance that we met with you during a work session to discuss a kind of that another tool that we will have to work with in the future when we just have a property that is not making any progress, that is not just maybe a nuisance, but nuisance, yes, but harm to the community and a challenge. Again, it's a kind of one of those last ditch efforts when we have to go on and go on someone's property and clean up that and that process. But there's a lot of provisions in there for ample time for people to become in compliance. In fact, they have 6 months. But we would like to present this tonight for your consideration and approval.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. And this is all that we talked about in the work session
Yeah.
last time.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So we should be pretty familiar with it. Any questions, comments, council, from last time that you thought of that we could add, delete, change? Anything? Great. Okay. It's a good place to start. And as we said, we can tweak that ordinance, if we have to anytime.
Yeah. It's kind of like I like the way Bill described it. It's another tool.
Yeah.
That when enough is enough, we can go on and
Okay.
take care of some things. Fortunately, Martin does a really good job getting resolution. And what was this report the other night? 90%,
Yeah.
More than 90.
More than 90, yeah.
95. The guy is solid on getting resolution to problems,
He really is.
and we would much rather do that
Yeah.
than go heavy. Just, pretty basic clean up your yard. He's got one right now that the whole yard was full of stuff. The owner of the property came. The owner was not living there, but a family member was. He came in and they took away 4 roll-off dumpsters of stuff off of the yard, and they still have more to do in the backyard, but they were able to haul out 4 large dumpsters of stuff that just went to the dump. But it was things that the person living there thought that they were going to be selling. But no selling was going on. So
Yeah.
we got
Okay.
that resolved.
Okay.
So it's getting resolved. It's not done
Right.
resolved.
Right.
But anyways,
Right. No, I hope we never have to use it. Bill said he used it once in all the years or none. Has he
Yeah.
ever used it? I can't remember.
Ogden City uses it quite a bit.
Yeah.
They actually have almost like, they have a whole process set up that when push comes to shove on this, then they can go through and work through the process to get that on a lien on the property.
Right. Right, okay. All right. Any discussion, no discussions or comments, then I would entertain a motion.
I move that we approve ordinance 2504, the adopting chapter 2.18 and amending chapter 8.16 in the code.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, council? Let's have a roll call vote, Amy.
Councilmember Deschamps.
Yes.
Councilmember West.
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Christiansen.
Yes.
Okay, that is unanimous. Thank you. Thank you, Amy, for that. Let's jump down to item number 7, council communication with staff. Jill, start with you this week.
Nothing tonight.
Nothing? Zeke? Nothing? Jeff?
Shout out to Carlos and everything he does.
Okay, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
No, that's
No.
Mike's job. Mike didn't.
And you know, the project at South Romer's looking pretty good. And they've got some plants going in and sidewalks are looking good, so
It's coming around.
it's coming along.
I've heard that some who may or may not have slipped into that environment really think it's fun. So we're encouraging people, please stay out until we've got it open for their safety. There's some pretty rough areas in there to fall, if you fall right now.
Yeah, the new playground looks like it's gonna be fun, so it's good.
It's coming along.
It's coming along.
Yep.
Thanks to all. Mike?
My shout out is to Jake and team, saying thanks for taking care of doing the strip, starting to go up to 5350. A lot of citizens said thank you for getting that in, and then hopefully it goes all the way over to 300 from there. But yeah, Jake
On
and
the-
team.
On the paint striping?
Yeah.
That does make a difference. I drive that road every day to my mother's house and it comes up that hill. That does make a difference on driving. It makes you
Yeah.
more aware, but it would be nice to put it all the way down that road, down to 300 West.
But they
That's
noticed that there's people driving slower now ever since the striping has went up, so.
And that was the striping on which road, Mike?
300 East
Yeah.
between 5,000 South and 5250 South
Okay.
is where and it has been striped in the past,
Yeah.
but there was a whole year where it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so now it's striped again, but when you drive that, it's just a different feeling. And you tend to follow it. So, but the new 5350 that we just paid, 5350, Tom, write that down. 5350.
5350.
Yep. That needs,
It's closed
that
up.
would kind of be neat if we could continue that paint line all the way down there in front of the church and then down, because I do get a lot of complaints about speeding on that road. There's a stop sign right down there, you gotta stop.
Yeah, there's a
If-
couple of them.
And if you don't stop, you're gonna take out the whole bottom of your car, because there's
It
quite
says
a,
hello now.
yeah, it does. I think it always has, but not quite that much. So, but if you don't stop there, you're in trouble, but, I don't know, striping down that would be nice. That'd be a great idea. So, anything else, Mike?
And then I'm going to be going to a meeting tomorrow for Get Healthy Utah. I don't know if Carlos has an opening at 12, but it'd be good for him to go to. It's age-friendly communities, so
Okay.
just getting some more arrows in our quiver for when we get that going.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Right.
Uh,
I forgot,
Oh, please.
the Washington Terrace Lakers football team is
Yes.
in the playoffs and in the mini bowl again. We're doing
Yep.
great this year.
5:30 this Saturday at Ben Lomond High School. I think that's just found out. It's actually the same team that was here last year. So let's have another party. So
Let's do it.
I don't think they're quite as dominant, but there's a chance they could take it all again. So, I mean, anything's possible, but Randy Furman's kid. Oh my gosh, that boy is gonna be an athlete. If you've ever seen him play basketball, he's just like on the football field. He runs down that basket. So we wish him well.
Yeah.
That's great. Yep. So, okay. I really don't have anything, so Tom, we'll turn it over to you. Administration reports.
Great. One thing that, to kind of follow up on is Carlos is working on some recreation grant money with the Outdoor Recreation Grant Fund to see what's available there. They've expanded that to include some park money and things, so Carlos is working on pursuing what's available there and seeing what's going on. We're going to be coming back around with all of you for any last details we need to do to set up for the Healthy Utah classification, and then have that on for the Utah League of Cities and Towns conference for that coming up shortly. We will anticipate pretty much the completion of the phase 3.2, the 3.2. It's getting really, really close. I'm saying inside of 30 days, I think is probably a very comfortable number. They're getting a lot of the trees planted right now. They're getting another delivery of trees tomorrow from two different vendors. So things are moving on along that way. Sheriff and his crew are going to make some extra rounds through the park down there because we've got a bunch of shrubs in that area that people could just easily walk up, and take. Unfortunately, we don't really have a great way to secure those, but they're right underneath the camera, which is helpful. But it doesn't necessarily. We should get a sign right next to them that says "Smile, you're on candid camera" or something.
There you go.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Can't put them inside the fenced area? I don't know how secure that is.
Yeah. They just need to undo the wire. But yeah, that's a little bit more secure than just sitting there on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Anyways, in the project. 5350. They've got some landscaping work that they still need to do on that, some holes that are open in the park strips. They're working on that. We recognize that it's been a very challenging project for those who live there. It has been, for them, we recognize it's been very frustrating for how long it has taken to complete the project. I've talked to a couple residents down there in the last couple weeks. Talked with one today for a considerable amount of time and listening to her concerns, and we don't disagree that it has been a challenge for how long it's taken. There has been quite a bit of moving of dirt, as we kind of explained, probably in my staff report, my weekend review, is they'll remove dirt, put new road base in, and so it just looks like people are just stirring dirt. It seems a little clunky, but they're actually moving the dirt on purpose, not just moving it in and out. But I have had more than a couple comments of, why are they just moving dirt and bringing dirt in and moving dirt and putting dirt around? So I understand that, but that's inches away from being done. The asphalt's all done. Next year, it will get a slurry coat, a chip seal. So it'll have the chip seal and then the chip fog over that, which will give a consistent layer over the whole road. After they analyzed the road, it didn't need a full curb-to-curb replacement, but it did need that replacement where you drive down there and you see where the new asphalt is. That's where we had the substandard base underneath the asphalt. So we did that intentionally. If we don't need to replace the whole road, and we've got one that's substantially good, we intentionally don't replace the whole road, even though we have a project there. We replace what needs to be done. There was a time we thought, look, if we're going to get in the street, we're going to replace it curb to curb. But after looking at it, we thought, this road's holding up okay. I did get a response or some feedback. It's like, hey, we were supposed to get a whole road with this. I understand. but we're looking at it fiscally and the remaining service life of the road. And felt it would be an appropriate balance for where we're at. We're kind of keeping an eye on, discouraging people from using the grass hill for a slide, no matter what product they're using to slide down it with, unless it's snow, ice, and some tubes and snow play equipment. Feel free. But messing up the grass is unfortunate. I think that is about it for me tonight.
Okay.
Any questions?
Chief, please.
Yep.
Sorry, I just figured I'd better tell you guys this. The ranch down here, if you in the next couple days, they will be doing an agricultural burn down there. They have a couple wood piles that they've cleaned out some of that Russian olive and that. As soon as they get a good clean burn index, they will be burning down there. So if you do get some questions on what the smoke is down there, that's what it is. Which they seem to get some from the houses right there on 5600 and 5700 when they do it. I just wanted to let you guys know in case you do get questions about it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Let your,
That's good to know.
let your city over to the east know that too. They will probably call also. So, okay. Thank you, Chief. Good to know. Next week? Next couple days? Next week? Next few, okay. Okay, great. Okay, let's go to upcoming events. October 30th, Planning Commission canceled. November 4th is our next city council meeting. November 11th is Veterans Day, national holiday. City offices will be closed. And then November 18th, another city council meeting. November 20th, possible Planning Commission meeting. And then, of course, coming up, November 21st and 22nd. Put that on your calendar. Council retreat. And then 27th and 28th, offices closed for Thanksgiving holiday. Yes, coming up. Wow. Wow. Christmas before you know it. Council, anything else tonight? Do you see anything else? Let's go right to item 10. Entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.